So I'm hanging around at my office today. Um, okay, so I'm gonna appear here in my office. Of course, this is a background here, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about an insight that I had today. I'm in my son's. My son is playing soccer, travel soccer, and now he's in high school. And I actually took on the team manager role. So I have 43 parents that I try to supply with all the communications from the coaches, from the games, and all these things that are happening. And right now with COVID-19, what we have is, the governor here in Michigan has put some really strict rules in place for these kids. So basically, what you see is we're sitting outside at a soccer game. The kids play soccer. They have masks on. The parents have masks on. I don't. You can't see if I have a shadow from having the mask out in the sun. But basically, there's rules, and those rules have to do with spectators and tickets and whatnot. And so what I did is I send an email. There's like 6 games in the next 2 weeks. I send emails out with information. Those emails with information contain step by step, for what game do we have tickets, how many spectators can you bring, why is the rules there, and stuff like that. And I sent it out to all 40, and I've basically repeated myself 3 times already. And I always at the top of the email, I'm doing a TLDR, too long did not read, where I basically in one sentence summarize the entire email so that I get the communications to the parents. Guess what? I still get questions about things that I have answered at least 3 times, that I have told them 3 times. So what does that mean? Well, basically it means that, from a marketing perspective, we're talking about marketing and HIPAA in this group. From a marketing perspective, it means that if you send stuff to your prospects, and even though it may be significant to them in their life, it doesn't matter that they read it, or it doesn't mean that they completely read it, especially if it is long. So what you need to realize is that often you can do whatever you want. Your prospects won't consume your stuff. And this is something that, right now I'm recording sessions over in my medical marketing secrets group for a client. This is something that everybody needs to realize is you're going to get tired of your marketing message before your prospects will ever be tired, because they may not even have read it. So let me show you something. Often when you get, and sorry, I gotta switch here my screen on. Often when you have situations where you are talking to your prospects about things that they're not really interested in, then they're especially not going to get it. But even if you are talking about things that people are interested in, they may not get it. So let me show you something. I'm just going to share my screen here. I'm just going to share the entire desktop because I'm going to show you a Word file. This is something that we go through with our clients in our coaching program. This is something that everybody in every line of marketing should go through, and that means here, when you look at the headline here, you need to understand your patient. You need to understand your prospective patient, because if you don't, you're going to talk about things in marketing that they're not interested about, and then they're especially not going to consume your content. So when you look at this here, and when you look at the category on this side here, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. How can I do this? Oh, maybe not. Maybe we'll just go through this and you could just look at this. We have categories where people feel something, and this is a dentist. So these are dental patients. What are dental patients' concerns when they spend thousands of dollars? They want to look good. So what's your pain? Well, they're embarrassed about their smile. What do they desire? Well, I want to feel confident. My new smile has changed my life. This is something that a patient thinks that wants to spend a lot of money on a smile. Or from the looking good perspective, they look at pictures and they see everybody else smiling. They never smile in photos. And what their desire is that they cannot stop smiling. When I look at myself here, you see this? I got white teeth. They're not anymore where I exactly want them to be, but I had a $50,000 makeover in my mouth in 2008. And if I look at pictures now versus 2008 or before 2008, I never smiled. Of course, I'm German and I'm grumpy, and I don't smile often anyway. But you can now see my teeth in pictures, and so when oh, you probably didn't even see that. I just put my Zoom picture in the screen and I smiled. But anyhow, I'm going to go unshare the screen and turn the camera on so you can see that. But, so what we do here is we're going through different things here, and I'm not going to show you all of it, but we're going through different things and we're going to design ads based on this, on these patient desires. And what that results in being is, that you can actually see here, there's 137 ads that we designed, and all those ads are ads that follow the patients around. So that's something that I wanted to say is when, and you learn this in your own life. When you talk to people, it is important for these parents when they show up at the soccer game that they have tickets, that they know if they're allowed to bring grandma and grandpa, and they still don't consume the content. And when you have prospects, when you look at commercial things, don't expect that to happen. That's why you need to have a message that focuses on a tiny aspect of people's desires, of people's pains, and basically talks about it all the time. And then, of course, there's 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 or 4 or 5 issues that you want to talk about. And once you talk about these issues, your patients are going to start following you. And you do it on the other way around. You follow your patients with what I call retargeting. This is something that I'm working on right now in my marketing secrets group. And I just wanted to pop in here and say hi. And when you look at my teeth, you see they're white. And when you look at pictures of myself, or when I look at pictures of myself for the past 12 years, I have smiled. One of the issues that I always have is a time issue, which is also in the pain pleasure crosswalk. A lot of patients don't want to sit at the doctor's office. If you are a provider and you think you have a great service, well, let me tell you something. There is quite a few patients that do not want to hang around at your office, even if you provide life-changing service. And those people you need to convince that it is worth their time to show up at your office. How you do it, that's what I'm going to talk about.